Welcome to the 2021 CARPLS Golden Gavel celebration. We are extremely proud of our staff, boards, and supporters for reaching this point. We have expanded services across Cook County and Illinois to create one network of legal resources during the pandemic. Our mission is to ensure that anyone in need can access our free legal services. In the last 18 months since the country shut down and the pandemic took over our health, stability, and sense of community, our staff have continued to provide services remotely in the blink of an eye. We have also extended the branches of justice with new projects, 4 of which are statewide. In 2017, we first partnered with the Illinois Armed Forces Legal Aid Network, or ILAFLAN, to bring legal aid to veterans and military service members throughout the state. This past year, CARPLS created and partnered with New Leaf, Illinois, a statewide cannabis record expungement portal, COVID Help Illinois, an online resource where Illinoisans can access answers to the most common legal questions during the pandemic, Eviction Help Illinois, a statewide hotline for eviction issues, and the Early Resolution Program, a Cook County-led hotline for housing and debt issues. As we work tirelessly on these projects, we have the pillars of community, trust, compassion, and leadership to guide us. We are so pleased to share this update of our work, our honorees, and celebrate your involvement.
My name is Leslie Corbett, and I am the Executive Director of the Illinois Equal Justice Foundation. I was the second employee of CARPLS in 1993, I think. I should know that by heart. And now, in my current role, I have the privilege of funding CARPLS work through a number of different projects. What makes CARPLS so special? There are a number of things, but for me, from being there at the beginning, I always felt that it was just common sense. You know, it connected folks to the resources they needed when they needed them in the right amount. I felt CARPLS and its common sense approach put the client first in using something as simple as a telephone to take care of intake, advice, and now even brief services and more. As you may know, CARPLS was one of the first hotlines in the country. But did anybody know if it worked? Not so much. So CARPLS still puts the time and energy in interviewing past clients, looking at case files to indeed ensure that the advice and the brief services they provided work. I believe that CARPLS serves as a connector for first Cook County, and now for the state of Illinois. If by chance I ran into someone who had never heard of CARPLS, or perhaps didn't know what the acronym stood for, I think I would say 3 things. Common sense, legal advice and resources when you need them, and compassion.
I first called CARPLS because I was told that CARPLS is a really great service for people who could potentially need legal help that don't have access to private help. I really needed support because I was advocating for myself and really needed the assistance. My experience with CARPLS has been great. I've always been really nervous when it came to, going to court and representing myself. But as soon as I spoke with the first attorney that I came in contact with, I knew that I had made the right decision by calling. From start to finish, they really supported me in every way. I was met with attorneys who I felt really cared about my situation and went the extra mile to make sure that I had all the knowledge that I needed to advocate for myself. If I had to give advice to someone who was a little hesitant or afraid to reach out, I would assure them that there's nothing to worry about. The attorneys at CARPLS are extremely knowledgeable, and they won't get off the phone with you until they are confident that you know what you're doing or what your next steps are. I always got the same level of service from every attorney, and I felt really confident that I could execute everything I needed to in my case because of them.
My name's Ian Turnipseed. I'm a staff attorney at CARPLS. I decided to work with CARPLS largely out of desire to use my legal education as a means to help people. Since the pandemic, it would seem to me that there are more clients facing financial issues, whether it be eviction matters or collections matters. It would also seem that there are more first-time callers, possibly people that didn't need our services in the past that need those services now. The most rewarding thing about working for CARPLS is to be there at that first step of a person coming, asking for help, to lay that groundwork, even if there are no great answers, to lay that groundwork where they could look at their situation and know it may at least be manageable. And then they're able to take the steps from there to get things back on track.
I decided to call CARPLS because of a consumer issue. I worked with an attorney at CARPLS, and he was very nice, very friendly, and very helpful. While talking to the attorney, he made me feel confident because I was overwhelmed with the issue that I was dealing with. I felt I could get a better answer through CARPLS than I could just stepping out on my own. Do I wish more people knew about CARPLS? Yes. I believe that they can assist the community as well as they assist me.
My name is Nick Seidel, and I'm a paralegal with the New Leaf Project at CARPLS. New Leaf is a project to expunge specifically the cannabis backgrounds in Illinois. There's people for, minute amounts of cannabis that are now not allowed to, get gainful employment or, attend a training program or, live where they want to live. So in all 102 counties, anybody that has cannabis records can contact us, and we offer attorneys that can provide advice or refer out to partner agencies that can actually draft documents or represent people for expungement. Interestingly, as a formerly incarcerated person, I got my paralegal degrees while I was serving my sentence. And as somebody who had experienced that, I know firsthand how difficult it is and how challenging it is to try to navigate the justice system without any assistance. I know what it's like to feel hopeless and then to encounter somebody who can help you along.
My name is Tarish Morris, and I'm a paralegal with CARPLS Legal Aid.
I'm Geneva Brown. I'm a staff attorney at CARPLS. I'm co-chair of the Racial Justice Initiative with Tarish.
The Racial Justice Project actually came about due to the murder of George Floyd,
which kind of let people know that there have been a lot of inequality that's kind of been festering, but also started a lot of conversations.
I'm passionate about the Racial Justice Project because obviously I'm an African-American woman, and this is something that impacts me every day.
And the leaders at CARPLS, instead of just acknowledging the tragedy of George Floyd's death, I think they did a deeper dive in trying to figure out, is there something that CARPLS isn't doing, or is there something that CARPLS can be doing?
And so they developed the Racial Justice Committee. There are some people who don't have a cell phone, they don't have access to any type of internet service or anything like that. And so our goal was to actually come out, sit down, and actually meet with these people and assist with them, their needs that they have legally.
We have many great ideas that we're excited to finally launch and get started. So we're excited to see where this will go.
Taller de Jose is a community resource center located in the Little Village community, and our goal really is to serve as a bridge to social, health, and legal services. We started this more formal partnership where we're able to schedule appointments for our clients directly with CARPLS.
We are able to give consultations to our Spanish-speaking clients in their native language.
When they're assisted in their native language, I think they feel more comfortable. They're able to gain the confidence in order to be able to navigate their legal issues.
Our clients can seek out social services through Taller de Jose.
It's had a huge impact on providing that stability and access for a community that's often excluded or more marginalized.
I'm hoping that this continues and grows.
In addition to serving people in our community, serving people across the state, CARPLS has been an amazing partner in policymaking. We worked together very closely on the passage of the Consumer Fairness Act. It was a transformative piece of legislation that will protect our constituents and people across the state of Illinois from predatory borrowing, from the consequences of these lenders going after folks. And CARPLS firsthand experience serving people facing these challenges was an incredibly important voice in helping us get that legislation passed. But I think that CARPLS coming to the table on this bill and bringing the stories of impacted people into that discussion really helped shift the landscape. For me, it was a really important collaboration because it introduced me a little bit more to the work that CARPLS does. Now I feel really comfortable sending my constituents to CARPLS who have these kinds of needs because I know that they'll be in good hands with you all, and I know that you all will be able to provide that level of service. So I'm really glad for the partnership that we've built together.
My name is Nilüfer Umar, and I'm a partner at Sidley Austin and a CARPLS board member. Sidley has long been focused on making a positive impact on our local community, including through efforts focused on racial justice. And we realized that the challenges in Chicago and nationwide only have grown. CARPLS is an organization that we've been proud to support for over 25 years to ensure that anyone in need of justice can access it. But this year, we wanted to invest our support in CARPLS a little differently, with an eye toward enhancing our engagement in local communities of color and CARPLS' engagement. We're excited to announce the debut of the Sidley Austin Community Engagement Coordinator position at CARPLS, an opportunity to deepen CARPLS' already outstanding work in the community. We look forward to sharing the successes of this effort in the years to come. I'd like to conclude by congratulating Bill and Sean on your very well-deserved recognitions tonight. Thank you.
Good evening. My name is Andrew McNally. I'm a partner at Bartlett Beck and a new CARPLS board member. My colleagues and I at Bartlett Beck have been proud to support CARPLS for well over a decade. Tonight's an opportunity for us to thank the CARPLS team for the incredible work that they've done, providing the critical legal services that our community needs, especially facing the challenges of the pandemic. Tonight's also an opportunity for us to celebrate the accomplishments of our partner, Sean Gallagher. Sean's vision and leadership have helped shape CARPLS into the organization that it is today. Congratulations, Sean, on receiving the Ralph A. Gabrick Award. Everyone at Bartlett Beck is inspired by all of your efforts, and I'm excited to continue your great work.
Good evening. My name is Deidre Christensen. I am an attorney at Nyhan, Bambrick, Kinsey & Lowry. Bill Lowry introduced me to CARPLS over 20 years ago, and that is just one of the things that I'm grateful to Bill for. I have had the privilege of working as an attorney hotline volunteer, and the firm has for years sent competing trivia teams to the Are You Smarter Than a Lawyer fundraiser. Bill Lowry is a dedicated and hardworking public servant, and tonight we are very excited to support CARPLS and recognize Bill Lowry's commitment to justice through the Golden Gavel Award. Congratulations and thank you, Bill.
Good evening. I am Lester Munson. It is a real privilege for me to be a part of this program. To be invited back to a CARPLS program is an absolutely flattering and wonderful honor for me, and I am so happy to be here. As you have heard tonight, we know that when we're talking about CARPLS, we are talking about the gold standard in legal aid services. It is simply the best legal organization in the United States. American Lawyer magazine, which loves to criticize lawyers and judges, stated that CARPLS was the most effective program yet devised to help people who cannot afford lawyers. That is very high praise. If U.S. Business and World Report were to rank legal aid organizations the way they rank colleges, CARPLS would be number one. There's no question about it. It was founded in 1993. This is its 28th year, and as you have heard, it has provided legal help to more than 800,000 people. Now, tonight, you are going to see awards given to two great CARPLS heroes, Bill Lowry and Sean Gallagher. They are going to come up here. You will see them. And when you see Bill Lowry, you will notice immediately that he is easily the best dressed person in the history of CARPLS. He is a dapper guy. I have known him for a long time. He is a terrific lawyer, and you will enjoy meeting him. Sean Gallagher is one of those guys that we hear about, magna cum laude at the Michigan Law School, clerked on the United States Supreme Court, partner at Bartlett Beck. I am not sure that these two guys should be sitting together. Bill is a member of the Cook County Board, a card-carrying Democrat. He is a very important guy in the Cook County Democratic Party. He is finance chairman for Tony Preckwinkle. Sean, on the other hand, participated in the most famous case his firm ever had. The name of that case, Gore versus Bush. I'll tell you a secret. Sean was not on the side of Al Gore. So maybe Bill and Sean can relitigate that case in the course of receiving these awards. But for me, I'm happy to be here. CARPLS is a great organization, and I am grateful that I am a part of it. Thank you.
Thank you to our many supporters who make our work possible. We would especially like to highlight some of our larger sponsors of this event. Thank you to our presenting sponsor, Bartlett Beck, our champion sponsor, Sidley Austin, our founder sponsors, Jenner and Block, and Kirkland and Ellis, and finally, our cornerstone sponsors, Ankara, Berkeley Research Group, Concilio, Cornerstone Research, Cozen O'Connor, Harrison Law, Messero Financial, Salesforce, Sard Verbinnen and Company, Skadden, Sterling Bay, Stout, Verizon, and Williams, Bax, and Saltzman. You can help us extend the branches of justice by making a contribution in any amount at carpls.org. Welcome to the 2021 CARPLS Golden Gavel celebration. We are extremely proud of our staff, boards, and supporters for reaching this point.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Dana Williams, and on behalf of the CARPLS Board of Directors, thank you for joining us at tonight's Golden Gavel celebration. We appreciate your commitment to our mission. First, a thank you to our host, Sterling Bay, for such a beautiful space here in the Prudential Building. Next, I'd like to thank our event co-chairs, David Williams and Caitlin Sprague. I'm pleased to announce that we have raised over $325,000 for tonight. As you heard in the video, CARPLS is leading the charge as Cook County's largest legal aid provider in ensuring that Cook County residents have access to legal services. The need for our services is even more critical during the ongoing pandemic. So, I would ask that you would consider making a contribution tonight in order to help Cook County residents facing evictions, unemployment, dealing with domestic issues, and navigating the legal system. As you may know, 85 cents of every dollar goes directly to our services. Tonight, we have the privilege to celebrate two longtime supporters and heroes of CARPLS, Sean Gallagher and Bill Lowry Sr., both of whom have demonstrated a true commitment to pursuing access to justice for all. David Williams, our event chair, will present the Ralph A. Gabrick Award to Sean, and we're pleased to have Bill Lowry Jr. present the Golden Gavel Award to his father. Bill Jr. served as an extern for CARPLS, so having him make this presentation is even more special. Lastly, our program will conclude with a word from one of our clients featured in the video. Thank you to Brittany and to Cosetta for joining us tonight. And a huge thanks to all of you. I'll turn it over to David now. Thanks.
Thank you all for being here tonight. On behalf of CARPLS Board of Directors, it's my distinct honor to present the Ralph A. Gabrick Award to Sean Gallagher. As many of you know, Ralph A. Gabrick was one of CARPL's original champions. CARPL's first executive director, a woman by the name of Marianne Sorosi, remembers Ralph for his warm smile and glowing endorsement of CARPL's mission to serve anyone in need of legal assistance. Ralph's son, Ralph Jr., as Dana mentioned, is also a staunch supporter of CARPL's, and he's with us tonight virtually. Sean is an incredibly worthy recipient of the Gabrick Award. His natural leadership style and affability have a way of bringing people together. As our good friend and the 2019 Gabrick Award winner, Sean Fagan, said, Sean is earnest, hardworking, dependable, even-keeled, measured, and unselfish to a fault. He cares about helping people and making lives better for the broader community in a pragmatic, practical, and efficient way. Sean and I go back to law school years, and my memories of those times are that most of us read the cases the night before class, really to avoid being embarrassed by the professor. Not Sean. Sean was reading the cases to see why the professor included them in the syllabus. Not surprisingly, after Sean arrived in Chicago, he quickly figured out how CARPLS fit into the Chicago legal aid landscape. Several years later, Sean called me and said, I'd like to take you to lunch so that you can meet Al Schwartz and learn just a little bit about this terrific legal aid organization that sort of has a funny name. He said it's called CARPLS, and it helps people address their legal problems in a very efficient way. I think you'll like it. I said, of course, I'd be happy to go to lunch, and that's how my CARPLS journey started. My guess is looking around the room and reaching out to those watching virtually, their story is a very similar one. Sean's quiet leadership has brought many into the organization, and he's steered it incredibly well over the years. Sean's been instrumental in making many of CARPL's successes over the years possible. Many of those successes we heard about on the video earlier tonight. One such project that Sean led comes to mind, and that is planning our ambitious 25th anniversary celebration. Tanya Piotrkowski cracked the whip, challenging the board to really raise the bar and raise considerably more money than we ever had in the past. The board looked at each other and said, you think we can do that? And Sean said, I'll make sure we do it. He really led the charge, personally committing to make CARPLS reach its goal from the 25th anniversary. As many of you know, that night was an incredible success. The Gavel's 25th anniversary edition blew away even our loftiest goals, raising 3 times more than we'd ever raised in the past. And much of that was a credit to Sean's great leadership. As a testament to that, CARPLS was put, much to Andy Richmond's happiness, on sound financial footing. And it came just in the nick of the time because we could never have known what was to follow the pandemic. But really, it positioned the organization to grow and flourish over the last couple years. Like Ralph Gabrick, Sean has been a steady champion of CARPLS. His strategic thinking and understated leadership style have played an important role in leading CARPLS to where it is today. On behalf of the entire CARPLS organization, I'd like to thank you, Sean, and congratulate you on being this year's Gabrick Award recipient.
Thank you, David, for those kind words. I was fortunate enough to have been introduced to CARPLS many, many years ago by Sean Fagan, my good friend. And I recall being impressed then by just the quality of this organization. I'm all the more impressed now, having spent a rather remarkable 10 years on the board. And I've had the opportunity to see the great work that CARPLS does. And more importantly, the people who make it happen. CARPLS has extraordinary leadership and vision in the person of Al Schwartz. They have steady management, and I'll just say sheer competence provided by Pat Rona. They have the tireless energy in development work of Tanya Piotrkowski. And of course, they have the hard work and commitment shown by lawyers and staff who show up every day to help people who are truly in need. I'm happy I could make any contribution at all to this wonderful organization. I'm humbled to get this award. And I'd just like to recognize and thank my partners from Bartlett Beck, my friends and colleagues from the Chicago legal community, and countless others for answering my calls and providing generous support to an organization that means so much to me personally. And I would just close with a word to my successors on the board, specifically those folks I introduced to CARPLS the way Sean Fagan brought me in years ago. This organization is special. It has a unique position in the Chicago legal community, and it's poised to do extraordinary things. So I'm not going away. I will be watching, and I expect nothing short of greatness from all of you. Thank you.
Good evening. I'm Bill Lowry. No, but I do want to just make it clear, I'm not the recipient for tonight's award that's listed in the program. As Dana said, I am Bill Lowry Jr. But I did want to clarify that for you guys, because admittedly, due to my family's lack of creativity with first names, by the way, my grandfather's here, also Bill Lowry. I did want to, again, make it clear because it has admittedly caused some confusion. You know, me and my father both being attorneys and working and practicing in the same law firm, you know, some folks have been kind of confused. You know, some would say that we look alike. So when they see me or see him show up somewhere and they're like, oh, you're looking pretty good for, you know, you've been around doing good. Others say that we have similar mannerisms, but I think that my favorite thing is when I'm calling opposing counsel on the phone and they don't know that they're not speaking to Bill Lowry Sr., managing partner, 30 years of trial experience at Nyhan, Bambrick, Kinsey, and Lowry. And for some reason, I can't quite put my finger on it, but those negotiations always seem to just go a little bit smoother. So just wanted to let you know that, and I doubt there will be any confusion, you know, tonight between the two of us. But I just want you to know, in case it does happen, I got you covered. When you think of Bill Sr., tonight's award recipient, say, you know, think of him as the wiser, more experienced, seasoned version. But in all seriousness, I just want to say thank you, CARPLS, for having me tonight to present the 2021 Golden Gavel recipient. It truly is an honor. You know, he is not only my boss at a law firm, he's also my Cook County Commissioner for the 3rd District. He's a mentor to me, and obviously, most importantly, he's my father. And I would be remiss if I did not note it's even better for me because, again, I have my own personal relationship with CARPLS. And you can trust me when I say I understand the hard work and necessary work that CARPLS and all those involved undertake every single day. Now, I was on the phone, I was on the hotline, I was working with people, and it really set me on a good path in terms of my own legal career. So with that, I do want to say again, thank you for everybody being here. And in fact, let you know that my father was the one who first introduced me to CARPLS. And as I thought about tonight and reflected on it, I realized I couldn't even be surprised or think that I didn't understand why he introduced me. Because if there's one thing that I've learned about my father, is that when there is an unfulfilled need, it doesn't matter what the obstacles may be. It doesn't matter how the odds are stacked. It doesn't matter how much work needs to be done. He always asks the same two questions. Not why me, but instead, why not me? Not if I can do something, but what am I going to do? Because he understands that problems do not stay stagnant while they wait around for us to get to them. But instead, they continue to grow until they're so big we can no longer ignore them. And when I thought about him, I thought about how he lives and how he works. And I came up with two things. He very much lives by the adage, the best defense is a good offense. And that prevention is always better than treatment. So whether it's practicing laws as a successful attorney for over 30 years and still making time to be a loving husband for that same amount of time and a father of 3 kids, being around to make sure we were safe and secure, whether it's building a legal practice and becoming the first African-American and minority managing shareholder in history, but also continuing to push every day to make sure there's minority representation, not only in the firm, but also in the boardrooms and conference rooms with clients from local to national, because he understands that being the first isn't good enough if you are also the last. And whether it was leading that law firm and then deciding to run for Cook County Commissioner so he could serve his community directly and lead by example, because he was not satisfied with sitting back and watching his community and his city suffer from inequity and injustice. He does not wait for challenges. He goes to their front door and knocks on it. If anything my father has shown, and what I want you to take away, is that all it takes is one step, one action, one moment. And soon enough, you'll look up and that need will be filled. So with that, I ask that you help me in welcoming to the stage tonight's Golden Gavel recipient, Bill Lowry Sr.
You know, after hearing from our oldest, there really isn't anything I need to say other than good night, everybody. Bill, thank you for that introduction and for blessing our family with your ever-present wisdom, which is always cloaked in truth and love. As our oldest, I have watched you embrace your role as leader with both your brother Evan, who is not here tonight, and with your sister Clark, who is also not able to join us. But Bill, what you probably didn't anticipate is that you would also be asked to raise both your mother and me. And at least relative to your mother, you're doing a pretty good job. But you, Bill, you truly are a star. You embody not only an exciting present, but you have a boundless future. And my role is to watch you, to support you any way that I can. Words cannot express how proud I am of you and how much I love you. And thank you for your words. I've been blessed immensely in my life, but no blessing is greater than being able to be called your dad. So thank you. Let me also say to my sister Kim and my brother-in-law Elmer, thank you for joining us this evening. E, you are not my brother-in-law, you're my brother, and I love you very much. Kim, I simply adore you, your brain, your heart, your wit, and I thank you for giving me unconditional love, even during those times when I was not deserving of that. You are the best sister anyone could have. Thank you so much. You know, I didn't know that my sister and my brother E would be joining us, but one thing about a CARPLS-related lawyer, you always are prepared. Thanks to my dad, Bill E. Lowry, and his truly better half, Terry Lowry. Thank you for being here tonight. I love you both very much. For 59 years, you, Dad, have been my mentor, my role model, my friend, and a true blessing. And I remember when I graduated from Loyola Law School in 1987, you said, Bill, I'm very proud of you. You said, use your law license to serve and to make a difference. Then after a pause, my dad added, don't become a jerk like most lawyers. Dad, I hope as I stand here today, I've at least avoided being a total jerk. Thank you, my man. As I talk about family, I'd be remiss if I didn't give a shout out to my extended family, the Kramers. I love you each so very much. Thank you. And Mike, thank you for your leadership with this wonderful organization. Thank you so much. And thank you to Al and Tanya, to our board president, Mike Slade, to the Golden Gavels co-chairs, to the CARPLS boards, to the CARPLS staff, and to all of you for this amazing acknowledgement. Thank you also to my good friend, Lester Munson. Lester, I had hoped that taking you to lunch a couple weeks ago would take the edge off of your remarks. But I now fully understand and grasp I should have taken you to dinner as well. Seriously, let me give a heartfelt good wishes, congratulations to my fellow honoree, Sean Gallagher. Sean, thank you for your leadership in the city, in the county, in the state, and in this country. We appreciate all that you do and all your firm does. So I'm being honored this evening with the Golden Gavel Award due to my ongoing dedication to access to justice for all. Now, while I am dedicated to access to justice for all, you don't do what's right to get awards. But I'm not giving up my Golden Gavel. I've been a part of the CARPLS family since 2001. And I continue that dedication to this family because of three numbers: 66, 95, and 1. 66, 95, and 1. For 28 years, CARPLS has lived its mission, shining a light on those not seen and giving words to those not heard. 66, 95, and 1. For 28 years, CARPLS has woven together the law and the needs of our community by offering counsel in the areas of landlord-tenant, foreclosure, employment, education, consumer debt, divorce, guardianship, estates, personal injury, property damage, public benefits, and health care. 66, 95, and 1. And for 28 years, CARPLS has represented us, all of us. Today, 57% of CARPLS clients are women. 13% are veterans. 19% are Latinx and Hispanic. 52% are African American. 29% are individuals caring for one or more children. 11% of CARPLS clients live in subsidized housing, and 10% of CARPLS clients are 65 or older. CARPLS represents us, all of us. 66, 95, and 1. So why do I support CARPLS? Well, as I stand before you this evening, 66% of CARPLS new clients have never spoken to an attorney before they called CARPLS. That's why I support CARPLS. And as I stand before you this evening, 95% of CARPLS clients would recommend CARPLS to a friend. That is why I support CARPLS. And as I stand before you this evening, CARPLS is the #1 legal aid hotline in the nation. That is why I support CARPLS. So this evening, we are not just celebrating Sean Gallagher and myself. We are also celebrating the impactful work of CARPLS. To CARPLS and to all of you, enjoy this evening, as tomorrow we get back to work fighting for access to justice for all. Thank you.
Good evening. Thank you all for having me here tonight. My name is Brittany Roberts, and I'm one of the participants in the video that we all saw just recently. And I just want to say that it's such an honor and a privilege to be amongst you all and to be able to participate in such a beautiful event. Just a little bit of background about myself. I stumbled across CARPLS due to my only family law situation that I had. And quite honestly, I wasn't expecting all of this. I wasn't expecting to be met with the level of customer service that I received from the CARPLS attorneys that I came in contact with. From start to finish, it was just amazing. You know, the level of service and just the care and concern that I experienced just from calling in was it was wonderful. And so much so that it led me to complete the survey that I completed, which actually landed me here. So, yeah. Gotta love those surveys. You know, we always hear about the bad stuff, but very rarely do people stop and really give back, you know, positive feedback. So for me to go that far, you know, it really touched me in a lot of different ways. So I'm grateful for that. But yeah, just to give a little experience with what I had with CARPLS, due to the pandemic, I took a little time off of work. You know, I have a family, a small family. And unfortunately, my children and I both, we had the pleasure of experiencing the COVID virus. And so taking time off from work, I got a chance to really go deep and really into my own case and, you know, see what I could do to advocate for myself. And CARPLS really helped me with that. Unfortunately, I couldn't necessarily afford a private attorney. And so that's, you know, how I stumbled across CARPLS. And really what CARPLS did for me was it gave me the empowerment and the ability to advocate for myself, which was something that I didn't have the confidence to do before I reached out. I would always be anxious and always be worried and scared, not even really being in any trouble, but just not being confident. And so after my dealings with CARPLS, though, I felt like I could do this. I could really do it for myself. I didn't necessarily need to go with private help. If I couldn't afford it, I still had the tools to do it on my own. So I'm grateful for that. And I just wanted to let you all know that's very important to somebody who doesn't necessarily know how to advocate for themselves. So they gave me the tools to do that. A little bit about my professional work background. I am a community health worker. So I work directly with the community that I serve. Currently, I'm working with a lovely organization by the name of the Renaissance Collaborative, which is located in the Bronzeville community at Senior Village. and wonderful organization. And I'm happy to be back into the workforce now. And again, CARPLS gave me the strength and it gave me the empowerment to be able to go back to work. For a while, I just didn't think I could do it. After dealing with a family that contracted the virus and myself, I just didn't think I could get back out there. But really, after my experience with CARPLS, I feel that I have the empowerment and the tools now on my tool belt as a community health worker to really get out there and advocate for the people that need the legal services that I myself experienced. So I just want to stress that because it's extremely important to those who might be underserved, who really just don't know about CARPLS. So to now know what all involves, what all CARPLS involves, I can now spread the word and make sure that others that I serve and come in contact with are fully aware. And so that's one of my goals that I go to work with every day. Moving forward, I really plan to advocate as much as I can in my own professional work and making sure people know what's available to them. It's such a lovely service, and it's so unfortunate that people that I've come in contact with at work day to day really don't know that it's available. And so what I strive to do is make sure that they know that this is what's available, this is what you have access to, and it's a lovely service, and take advantage of it because it can really help you in all facets of your life. So I just want to leave you all with that and let you know that I'm thrilled to be here. This is really a treat. And what better way to give back to CARPLS to express my love and the joy that I experience in utilizing the service. So thank you so much.
That's the show. Please have some more drinks, eat some more food. You probably didn't have a chance. I know I didn't. And enjoy the outside cool weather now. And thank you for joining us tonight.